So, but I don't do
I
that
guess you
anymore.
do for like the slow or something.
Yeah, there was like,
Salty.
huh?
Nothing.
Just make sure you carry some mace with you if you go exploring abandoned buildings. The lights are off.
Yeah, well, we weren't planning to go inside. We were just trying to open and see if the doors would work. But we went during the day that one time. But I went up to the window and had like a bunch of pictures. It was insane. Like, I remember me and her almost had like both anxiety attacks because there was like we saw like 2 figures that night, and it was we never went back. So.
Could have been homeless.
Wait, I have
people.
another story actually.
Huh?
Is it really like
No,
yeah,
it was in the
sure.
window. It was in the windows.
Bro, it was a raccoon.
It was in upstairs. Like, it was locked, so how would a deer get up there?
What if it's a rich deer?
So-
He flies.
I have a severe problem with like disregarding like.
Wait, dude, I have an actually really scary story.
Okay.
All right, go.
Go
What
ahead.
happened to Salty telling his story?
Alright, no, this is serious though.
Like, what do you mean serious? Like,
Okay.
like ghost
Just
stuff
rip
or like
Salty every time.
This is a ghost story. Yeah,
Ghost
this is
story?
for real.
Okay.
Okay. So, alright, so at my grandma's house, like, the fridge, right? And, like, in the kitchen, so this was at, like, 3 a.m. And, like, at, like, 10 p.m., the milk was in the refrigerator, right? And then I went to go eat some Oreos with some milk, and then the milk was just...
His dad's back.
Oh, that's terrifying. That's so scary.
I
Nobody
had
see
to.
what's going to
I had
happen.
to.
No, dude, it's actually
Damn.
the scariest thing I've ever, experienced in my life.
Yeah, I would have died.
So I have
Dude, it
a,
was like a full jug.
I have a request. I want to hear Salty's story.
Really fuck.
Nothing scary happens.
Yeah, I want to
scary,
hear
right?
Salty's story now.
Okay.
Yeah, scared.
It's not really scary. It's just kind of weird because there's I was like 7 or 8, maybe. All of my friends, I don't know. There's just this one kid on our street. He was about a couple years older than us, and he was like, he would like let his dog out and make him chase us.
Mad lad.
And he would bring out like airsoft guns and shoot us. It was
Oh,
just
God.
kind
Real asshole.
of yeah. And my friend's brother, he's like a few years older than like everybody on our street, and they kind of had a feud, and they started like, I don't know, fighting. But there was this one time where he asked me to come behind my house,
Oh,
and
God.
he was like, okay, I made this club. It's called the Inappropriate Club. I was like, I was like seven or something. He was like 10, and he's like,
Mad lad.
he's like, so to join, what you need to do is, it's so. You need to. Yeah, we had to like get naked and like.
Oh my god.
Probably become like a
Anyone a police officer here?
FBI, anybody?
He told me to.
Okay, let him finish.
He told me like smack my penis with his. And, yeah. He just put his
How old is your brother
did you?
now? I want to know.
Yeah.
do it?
And then he
How many
moved,
years
so-
did you serve in prison?
You can do it?
He's in high school now, and I'm
Is he
going
dead?
into high school. I hope.
Anyone a
Is he
police
dead?
officer here?
So you guys actually crossed swords then?
Yeah.
Bro,
You
that's
had
a
it-
great story.
But
Except when I was 7.
That was so good.
Wait, was there like an awkward
Shut up, let him
tension
finish the
every
story.
time
My milk
after you
story
seen
wasn't good
them?
enough?
yeah, I think his was the most scary so far.
No, it really was though.
The milk
Sword
story was
fight.
pretty scary.
What was that?
fucking Tyler One.
Someone
Oh,
just
man.
fucking
And
died?
then just another one out of nowhere.
Somebody pulled a Tyler one.
Me with a bowl of lettuce.
Oh yeah, who's up?
Nothing scary happens where I live, so not me.
I'm gonna play to the whips, maybe.
We put,
So I gotta
we
start-
put
I
firecrackers in a porta potty and
universe.
Oh my god. Yo, I got a scary story.
me and my friends put firecrackers in a porta potty and it blew up.
Why?
Oh my. So this isn't a scary story, but like, yeah. I'm
Just-
done, that's it.
Okay, good one. Really
Pretty
good.
good story.
That was pretty scary, bro.
That was really
I
scary.
So
I'm gonna have nightmares.
I have a severe
Who's
disregard for like
speaking
my own.
Persian in the chat?
I have a severe disregard for my own like safety, I guess you'd say. And like I'm pretty just like blasé, like whatever. I'm gonna be fine. I'll live through this, right?
You ain't no snitch, say that.
So I was going rock climbing, right? And I met this guy the night before. And like whenever you have somebody belay for you, right? Like they're holding up like your safety line, you're climbing up this rock wall, and you're putting your fall protection gear in and shit, you know, clipping into the little rings in the wall. Well, if the guy that's belaying you doesn't really know what he's doing, it's really gonna fuck you up when you're on the wall, right? Like he can either not give you enough slack in the line, so you're trying to fight the rope all the way up, or you can leave too much slack, which is sometimes even worse, because then if you do take a fall, you're gonna fall a lot further than you should have, right? It was the second one with this guy. He was pretty good about giving too much slack, right? And I was climbing a double pitch route, which means that the first pitch ended and the second pitch was short enough that as long as you had a long enough rope, you could climb both as if it were one without having to stop and bring your belayer up and then start going from the top again. So I'm climbing both pitches as one, and then we're on a very exposed face. Like we're on the side of an actual like cliff climbing up, and it's a moderately difficult route. Like nothing too crazy. It's like 512. And we're up there on the side of this rock face, and he's belaying me, giving me too much slack. I had just made it up into the third connection point on the second pitch, and with as much slack as he had given me, I fell, and I almost slammed my head on the spot where you start the second pitch at. So I fell about 40 feet before the rope actually caught me.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I've got a pretty,
Well, no, the rope's
pretty
dynamic.
scary
So like
story.
the rope's dynamic. So with that, because I was already up like 110 feet on the whole pitch, it means I had about 150 feet of rope out of my 200-foot rope. So I had enough rope to slow me down. Like it stretches as it expands, right? That slows you down. But like as the rope continued to stretch and stretch and stretch because all that slack was in there, I almost, man, it was a little scary. I had to take a minute to regain myself.
I have a question for you. Since you said you're a rock climber, right?
What's up? Yeah.
I know the fixation points that appear throughout the climb. How the fuck do they get there? Like,
So there's a couple of different ways, and in North America we epoxy them into routes in the old days, and currently we have a screw bolt. So it's a sleeve, and there's a nut on the back end of a threaded rod, right? And so what you do is this, like you drill a hole out into the rock face, and then you put this thing in there, and as you tighten down the little thing, the nut in the back is captured, and it'll expand the sleeve that it's going through, and that expansion is what causes it to like bite into the rock.
okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Biting rocks isn't very healthy.
I've got
you go
a
crazy.
pretty good story if you guys want to hear it.
Pretty sure that's an episode of My Strange Addiction. Eating rocks.
No way. Yeah.
Some woman got addicted to eating like the foam in car seats. You can get addicted to fucking
Oh yeah,
anything.
I've heard that. Yeah. I've
Yo,
seen that
doesn't
shit.
somebody get
By
addicted
the
to drywall?
way, is Convo or Stammer on right now or no?
Who? No.
Never mind. Fuck, dude. I need to flex on them.
I've got a pretty good story if you guys want to hear it.
Yeah, very good.
There's not.
Let's hear it, dude. Fire the fuck away.
So we were at school one time, and we have like these monthly like drills for like fire drills and like lockdown drills.
Like
And
everybody.
I guess so. One month we had a lockdown drill, and we're all taking it to drill. So we're just sitting in the corner, you know. And I guess two kids were like at the washroom when the drill happened, and they thought it'd be funny to go knock on the doors really, really loud and say, "Open up!" And then so everyone started freaking out, right? And I was like, no, I actually recognized one of the guy's voice. I'm like, his name is Jamal. And I said, that's Jamal. And the teacher's like, no, Jamal. And it ended up being like really weird. He's like, oh, but, and he kept knocking. They got suspended for like a week, but it scared everyone because they were like slamming on the doors and everything.
That's
Of course, Jamal's a troublemaker. Who's shocked by the fact that Jamal's a troublemaker?
Holy shit.
Scramble the pro
that
teacher?
happened like in Utopia V3 actually.
And then when the principal came, they were like laughing, thinking it was like a joke when, you know, you got people, like there's like some girls crying. They're like, because they were slamming on doors.
Dude, so last time I had a drill was like sophomore year. I haven't been to school since then, thank God. But we had a fire drill, and where I live, it is very cold, by the way, very fucking cold. It gets to like -16. I think the worst I've ever experienced is -20.
Where do you live? Like,
I live in Toronto. We've got
no, we had
45 up
one
here.
of the worst winters like that we've ever had recently. I live up in Connecticut, and my principal, we had the dean, everyone outside of the school, and we all like we go near the student parking lot. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a half ounce in my car, so it could have gone a lot worse. But I used to sell carts, and I used to sell like little dime bags, nothing over an eighth during school, nothing over 3 grams. And it was slow. Like I wouldn't do it to fucking get kids addicted to hard drugs. I did it because, you know, kids smoke weed. I'm in high school, might as well make money, and I want to be an entrepreneur. Yeah, quick cash as well. So he saw me blowing out smoke from a disposable. Then he SRO come in, school resource officer, search my bag. I had 2 carts, like 3 grams total. And then they tried to search my car, which is when I proceeded to walk out of the school and take my car off school grounds before they even called the police. But what's funny is when I returned in an Uber, the police were literally just sitting in the front office, like arms crossed, waiting, because I still had my bag and my phone. And I told them, I was like, I'm gonna be right back. I need to go call my dad. And I told him, I was like, I'm leaving my phone here, so you know I'm gonna come back. And I said I'm gonna go to the office and call my dad. I didn't do that. I instead parked my car in a fucking McDonald's parking lot, like a big brain.
Great.
So don't ever let them search something that you know they can't. They also shouldn't be able to search your bags. I can just walk out of the school, yeah.
Whoa, I got a big brain question.
I'm pretty sure you need like a priest warrant for that.
I got a big brain question.
Not for school bags, no. If the SSO
So
is
I
present,
live in Canada. Our laws are totally different.
Yo, can I have can I say something? Okay, so like, if you live in an RV and they try to search your vehicle, are they supposed to have like a warrant?
RV, so basically the way, RV, they need a warrant, but what's happening right now is they're trying to pass a law that makes probable cause, if you know what that is, a lot easier to obtain. And they're now they don't even need to request canines off of scent if they have scent or if they have suspicion. Literally suspicion. If you were parked in a shady spot, they can say that's suspicion to search your vehicle.
That's crazy.
I
mean, dude, the U.S. government's pretty fucking cringe.
Let's be real.
No,
then you got those convenience stores that think just because you're a kid, you're going to steal something or cause trouble.
Yeah,
that's only black ones.
That's what pisses me
they're
off.
not allowed.
What a legend.
They are not allowed to search your car unless you give them
the first time I came out of any
mine.
store was in 8th grade, and it's because my friends and I were like, we all got really fucking stoned. We went to like we went to the mall basically, and we asked girls for like, yo, what's your Wizard 101? What's your email? Like,
nice.
like funny shit like that. Like literally the biggest troll you can do.
What's your monkey quest?
Yeah,
What's your high school on cool math?
So this one kid in my group, he had older siblings, and he walked up to like he didn't know how old she was because she was like turned around, and I guess she like worked at one of the stores in the mall, so she got us kicked out. But he walked and was like, "Hey girl, what's your AOL?" She didn't like that. She was very upset. Okay, who's harassed if some fucking 8th grader comes up to you and is like, hey girl, let me get that email? If you're harassed by that, you deserve to be harassed, I swear.
Yeah.
No, and then the one thing I hate is like when teachers like give you like help for swearing, and then they probably go home being like, these fucking kids, I swear to God.
Bro, how old
Yeah,
are
like
you?
all the teachers I
I'm
have in my
12.
grade just hate me so much.
I've also got
I'm
a
like
pretty
the
funny
worst
harassment
kid in
story
most
if
of my
anyone wants.
classes.
Glad to see these people, these young surf. It's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's wonderful, honestly. If anybody wants a good harassment story, I got one, but I don't want to take up the board. Somebody
No,
has
do
something funny.
I have like
So-
one tiny
That's
thing.
fun.
Let's hear it. Blue Waffles, fire away.
No, dude, I have a story.
I have like one tiny thing. It wasn't
Go
that
ahead.
major. It's kind of just retarded.
Go
So, mind you, I'm 15. I'm like 6'2", 165.
Damn.
Whoa.
Yeah, I play basketball.
Play basketball.
But so
Blake Griffin
me and my
type beat.
friends, we had this like genius idea to go into a vape shop and give them an reverse card.
Hey, you got your card with you, son? Yes, sir.
So we walk in and we check out. I got like a puff bar or something, and mind you, I give him the reverse card. This dude reaches under like the cashier for something. I just dipped. I wasn't. We just dipped. We didn't want to
Bro.
figure out.
The Blizz.
Let's see. Me.
Me.
Wait,
Yes,
what's
I'm
the
pretty
weed
bad.
trail? What's the name of the weed trail? I need that. What's the name of it? Just weed?
No, it's called marijuana plant.
Oh, that's been seen lately. The people smoking weed out of like vape pens.
Dab pens,
How dumb.
box pens.
Oh yeah, so those are carts. I used to sell carts, and carts are great if you're getting into it, but don't call yourself a stoner if you only smoke carts.
Yeah.
So the harassment story I have, this went down I think freshman year, and I have a friend who he's my guy for computers. He built my computer, he installed my water cooling, all that. Fucking kids goated. Love the guy. Great kid. He tries to do good in school, not so much, kind of slacks off and gets high, and yeah. Keep in mind, he's been coding in C#, I believe, since like 6th grade. He took private tutoring.
Like average IT, go
His
on.
dad works on open software,
IQ 300.
so he got private tutoring for coding when he was very, very young, at least for coding standards. And he made a bot, because he had a teacher he didn't like, that flooded her email with about 30 to 40 emails every minute. But here's the funniest, this one gets me every time. So he made an interval change when the bot has been detected that it's either put in spam mail or blocked. And the interval change goes to, well, basically when it detects that it's been blocked, it will make a new Gmail, change one of the numbers, or add a number if it's gone through that certain amount. The kid's fucking, it's genius. So it would basically make a new Gmail and keep flooding her fucking email to the point where she had to change her school certified email to a different one.
What a legend.
Yeah.
This is
No,
why,
but
like,
he did get
school
suspended
is
for 2
just-
weeks.
Still though, school it doesn't teach you anything. It doesn't teach you shit that you need to
It
learn.
doesn't teach you stuff you need to know. Just like,
Well,
yeah,
school should be
magma,
teaching you
lava is
systems, teach you
magma
how
under
to
the
code.
ground.
Why is everybody talking at once? It's getting on my nerves.
True point.
School, they shouldn't be teaching you formulas and fucking history. They should be teaching you basic problem solving from a young age. And
Exactly.
it's like they develop
It's like,
that
how
in
to
your
do
head.
taxes. It's like, no, lava's called magma when it's under the ground.
I'm definitely gonna use that when I'm a mechanic. Fucking yeah.
In Canada, they just added programming to the math curriculum.
Like, I'm not going to deny the fact that
Congratulations,
schools.
dude. I'm actually really happy to hear that some schools are actually, paying attention to what's gonna be the biggest job field of our generation. But I guess America's just out here like, virus go wee.
So wait. Did you hear about, like, nobody's been talking about this, Pitt University? Like the college?
Yeah.
The professor there, he was on the verge of making a vaccine, like, in a month it would have been done. So he's like at his home, like, for coronavirus, like very early stages, like around I don't remember, but
I think it was late March.
Yeah, he gets killed by another like Chinese dude, who then kills himself after. Yeah. So I think it was planned.
What was planned?
I'm like in college right now. Right.
The whole virus.
You think it's planned?
Yeah, I think it was.
Well, here's what's funny. Do you guys hear about the Chinese whistleblowers? That fun fact: the CCP, Chinese Communist Party. I almost said Confederate. Jesus, dude, imagine Chinese Confederates. I fuck my sister. So anyways, the Chinese Confederate Chinese Communist China, fucking China.
The Communist Party of China.
Yeah, the Communist Party of China. They have such like power surveillance-wise, so their normal like street and traffic cameras have facial recognition from like hundreds of yards. You can read about this. And the earliest whistleblowers, like back literally November and December for coronavirus, were killed. The 14 confirmed people were killed by gunshot wound.
So the original lady that was the whistleblower of China, she was not killed immediately. She died of coronavirus. Now, my question is like, what substantiation do you have that this is a political move that was orchestrated by government to try and wipe the world out?
Because there's 1.3 billion people in a very small landmass, and population control is something that the humans have needed to do for a very long time.
Sure.
In my opinion.
So
in my
anyway,
opinion.
outside of this eugenics like rhetoric you're trying to speak,
not eugenics. No. It's just overpopulated. We're draining resources at a rate we don't need to.
Okay, so how about we look at something with let's look at like a couple of facts and like not such like a vacuum, okay? So check this out.
Remember
right?
when we all saw 2020 was going to be great?
You have this thing in China, right? You have the coronavirus. What did we have before the coronavirus? We have the avian flu. What do we have along with that? We also have the swine flu. So these different diseases, these different viruses and bacteria that have come out of this country all come from the same area. All right, so this is not anything new. All right. Next
Why don't we just fucking nuke Wuhan like 4 times?
We have to look at the difference between the.
No, they don't.
We have to look at the idea of what the avian flu was and what the coronavirus is, right? So the coronavirus is not able to be detected as readily as the avian flu was because of the way that you would express symptoms. So it makes it harder to track, and that means people were able to move around with it before we even knew what it was because people were already able to be contagious without showing symptoms. This is the main issue with it, is that you can't know if people are a contagion factor or not before you're able to go and get them all confined in an area. So with that, and with the fact that if you look at the way the rest of the world's treating things and the way that we aren't treating things here in America, we can look at that this is not an orchestrated attempt to try and kill people by some kind of government conspiracy. This is just a bunch of people being shitheads, not wanting to be controlled and told what to do, and as a result, we have a bunch of shit going on in our country, whereas the rest of the world over is kind of already got it under the control. China's got some new shit going on.
In Canada, we're almost in stage 3 of reopening.
I can't wait till China releases a new strain though. Shit's gonna bang.
So it's not that it's a new strain. The most terrifying part about this virus is the fact that it's an ancient virus that's like been around within our gene pool for like eons, but it's not been in humans yet. So what does that mean? Now that it's already made the evolutionary step to go into to evolve into being a human contagion now. It's going to be coronavirus 2.0 next year, and yeah, it's going to be fucking terrifying because it's going to be stronger next year. That's the worst part, is people are looking at 6 months in the future, not 5 years.
Terrible, did you see that, bro?
I missed it.
Dude, I was literally had a
back in the early 1900s, there's this thing called the Spanish flu that killed like millions, and I heard like that was the closest to like the coronavirus, but that's what I've just been reading online and stuff.
It was killed more people than the coronavirus has yet, but the problem isn't that the coronavirus, like the difference between the coronavirus and Spanish flu, is that flu was a